Hey, what's going on? My name is Alin Dragu, and today we are doing Q&A. That's right. We're gonna have some fun. I asked you guys on Twitter. I still call it Twitter. I just can't with the X. I don't know. It's called Twitter. All right. You guys asked me questions about copywriting, email marketing, and just my personal life, which is great. I mean, that's super fun. So we're gonna dive into the questions today. Let's go ahead and jump in. Actually, before we jump in, if you want, you could go ahead and hit the like button to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want more content on email copywriting, email marketing, things like that. Let's dive in. All right, let's do it. All right, Maru Hieta or Marcus Hietanen, I hope I said that right, asked the question. Great. I love how you start with that. Here's mine. What is the best way to grow an audience on X? Okay, if I were you and I were starting out again, here's what I would do is I would choose a niche, one niche, okay? Like mine's email copywriting. And I would find all the people in my niche that I want to get to know or build relationships with. And then I would create a custom list with those people and add them to the list. Like I have a custom list on Twitter called Copywriters, and I add copywriters that I like to that list. And then every day I scroll that list instead of the timeline, and I reply to them and I build relationships with them and I send DMs to them and I comment on their stuff and laugh and we play and have all this stuff. And so now I have a bunch of friends in that space, which has propelled me because now we all just help each other. If I post something, they comment because they're friends now. And if they post something, I comment. And it's all about relationships. Build a list of very specific people in a very specific niche. Get to know them. You guys will grow together. Don't overcomplicate it, okay? That's it. Next question from Richard Pawazinski, okay? What is something that you have learned recently that you have started applying in your business? My reply to that is I would spend more time curating the people in your life, including business, including friendships, including everything. I would highly curate the people in your life. Honestly, especially business, because when you work in business, you work 30 to 40 hours a week. Okay, if you're average Joe, you're working 30 to 40 hours a week. And that means you're spending that time with colleagues, with customers, with your supervisor, with your employees, right? You have a whole hemisphere of people that you're working with. And if you don't like who you're working with, that sucks, man. And life is too short to sit here and work 40 hours a week with Donna in accounting because Donna's a douchebag. No offense, Donna. Actually, tons of offense. If you're a douchebag, get out of here. All right, next question. Aryan Akhari, how do you monetize copywriting? How do you not monetize copywriting? I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, it's copywriting, right? The best definition of copywriting I read in like a Bob Bly book or something where he talks about copywriting is just a salesman behind a typewriter. That's it. Everything copywriting does is selling. Okay, so either you're selling on a sales page or you're selling your own products via email or you're selling anything else that you do on a billboard, whatever it is, Google ads, everything copywriting does is selling. So either you should get a percentage of those sales or you should charge for your writing time. Okay, but it is the most monetizable skill on the planet. But I hope that helps anyway. My man Juan, JD Media Biz asks BeeHiiv or ConvertKit? ConvertKit all day long, super easy. And the reason I've had both and they're both good, but ConvertKit is great. Couple reasons. Number one reason is ConvertKit's deliverability, right? I've seen more BeeHiiv newsletters laying in the promotions and spam tab than almost any other platform. And that's because they have all the like embedded media and I don't know what else they have in there, but it lands in the spam. And so the deliverability of ConvertKit, I've just seen to be so much better. Other things like the automations and the landing forms are way easier to create and connect in ConvertKit, which is awesome. ConvertCommerce, having the ability to create products in ConvertKit and then plug that to your email list inside. And it's one cohesive sale that goes to your Stripe. It's just integrated better, and it's all the things that you need. Not to mention, they're a much bigger company who's been established for a lot longer of time, which usually comes with less bugs, a lot better support, stability in the growth, all those things. ConvertKit, hands down. Next question. All right, Milos WBEEEC Phantom. What does that mean, by the way? I don't know what that means. What is your biggest challenge you're facing right now. If inappropriate, shoot me a DM. I would say my biggest challenge that I'm facing right now is what I would consider quiet ambition, finding a healthy balance between like enjoying life and peace and relationships and those things, and just being a highly ambitious person that wants to create content, write emails and shoot videos and create cool products and all those things. Like my tension between my ambition and my joy and peace for life, they often butt heads. And so that's still something I'm trying to figure out. If you have any advice for that, man, feel free to drop something in the comments below. I'm enjoying life and all those things, but you get it. So yeah, that one. Amit Kumar asks, best copywriting book of all time in your opinion, and what's the best way to get more email subs? Okay, that's two questions in one. Let's answer the first one. Best copywriting book of all time. I don't think there is one book that's like, this is the go. In fact, if you are getting into the copywriter space or you are a copywriter and you're not willing to read like a lot of copywriting books multiple times, I don't even think you should be in the space, if I'm being honest. I genuinely don't. If you're not willing to commit to 6 to 10 books, reading them 5 to 6 times, right? That's how much it takes to really get into that mindset. But if I were to recommend some books, let me recommend a few. Scientific Advertising by Claude Hopkins. This is really good to get into the door of copywriting, all the fundamentals, okay? Next one is Infotainment Jackpot by Ben Settle. This is a pricey one. I'm not gonna lie, okay? This is a really pricey one, but it really blends the world of entertainment and information, so that way you can really build relationships and sell a lot of stuff. So that's a really good one. Goat Mode with Ad Week Copywriting Handbook. Joe Sugarman. This is like all the fundamentals, right? I will not lie, it is a little bit of a boring read. It's kind of dry. But he's got some good stories in there too that kind of spice it up, and he's got all the fundamentals, but it's a must read. Boron Letters. A lot of people talk about this book. Some people really hate it. Some people really like it. I think it's an absolute fundamental. You got to read this one. And then the Copywriter's Handbook by Robert Bly. This is a freaking practical book. Okay. He talks about internet marketing. He talks about direct advertising. He talks about copywriting in every different facet. Really practical. Talks about headlines, subject hook, all that stuff. Just really, really good one. Ogilvy on advertising. Okay. This probably is one of my favorites, if not my favorite, because I really love David Ogilvy, and he was just a character of a guy, just nuts all over the place. And so I really like reading his just escapades and crazy eccentricism around the world. I mean, this is a really good read. And then lastly, Breakthrough Advertising. Again, a very pricey book, generalistically, but all these books make you a lot more money than you pay for them. So really, really fun. And then an honorable mention, not really a copywriting book, but it is, right, The King of Madison Avenue. It's David Ogilvy's autobiography. It's really enjoyable, great storytelling, context behind him, great context to the Mad Men era. So I think you really like this one. The flip side to this question was, what's the best way or the fastest way to grow your email list? Well, there is a difference between quantity and quality. I think the fastest way to grow your email list is to do a bunch of giveaways. Okay. That is the fastest way to grow your email list, is to create a giveaway in your market that solves a problem for the people you seek to serve. Okay. If like for me, if I want to serve copywriters, one of my best giveaways is Copywriting Catalyst, 63 cash cow tips that you can read in 90 seconds or less. It's in the description. If you don't already have it, go get it. It's free. Okay. So that's a great way to get people on your email list and solve a big problem for them. So a giveaway is a great way to grow your email list. It's honestly the fastest way to grow your email list. But the caveat is, a lot of times you get a lot of people who are just looking for freebies and they're not really looking to be on your list, or they don't really care about you. And so at that, what I would say, it's not really the best way to grow your email list. It's just the fastest way to grow your email list. The best way to grow your email list that I've experienced is what is called list swinging, meaning I would find somebody in your niche that has a quality list. Okay, so like a copywriter, I would find somebody else who talks to copywriters, and I would ask them to do a shout out for shout out, right? We trade shout outs. Hey, I'll shout you out, you shout me out. That doesn't really work if he has a 10,000 list and I have a 1,000 list, or vice versa, or whatever. It doesn't work like that. But if you can't do a shout out for shout out, you could also pay for those spots and say, hey, can we work agreed upon rate, $1,000, $500, $2,000, whatever it is. And I'll advertise on your list and you get a lot more subscribers that way. List swinging and cross promoting on lists is definitely the best way to get qualified people who are already reading emails, who already care about that niche, and who are already engaged in your stuff and people like you. YDD asked, before you had an agency, do you have any tips on how to design or format your email copywriting portfolio? Also, which software websites have you used to build your portfolio? I'm not gonna lie, I really don't use a portfolio other than my daily email list. Like, even work when I do for clients, they're off my list, right? They read my emails, which is kind of crazy to say, but at the end of the day, you are your portfolio. So my writing online and all that stuff, like my writing online and my writing via emails, that's my portfolio. So when people read my stuff, they know I'm good. Like, you read it and you're like, oh, this guy's good. Yeah, I bet he could write blah, blah, blah. Yeah, totally, right? And so your email list is your portfolio. Have clients chase you, not you chase them. That's how you do it. The second part of the question being, which software websites have you used to build your portfolio? I've used almost everything out there. I would highly recommend just being on WordPress, okay? WordPress, you could post all your stuff. It has all the integrations. Like, stop diddly-dallying around. I used to do like Squarespace and Card and all that stuff. Bro, just go on WordPress. Get SiteGround. It's $2 a month. WordPress is a plug. Just do the work, okay? Go to WordPress. Super, super simple. And then ConvertKit is what I use to send all my emails. Alin Foley asks, what's your least favorite thing about what you do if you had to pick one? I would say meetings and maintenance. I hate both of those things. I don't want to be in any meetings with any people, which is oftentimes why I just focus on writing for myself and things like that. And maintenance, if something's broken, if software needs to be connected, if I need to schedule all my emails and schedule all my blog posts and edit videos and blah, blah, all the maintenance stuff. I just want to create stuff like I'm doing now and I want to write my emails, shoot some videos, all the things that are creative and fun, just like all of us, right? But at the end of the day, yeah, meetings and maintenance. Scott EP says, when you have an email marketing client, how deep does your service go? Do you write emails and send them? Do you have access to their Klaviyo or whatever they use? Some people say Klaviyo, I say Klaviyo, whatever, okay? And if you don't have direct access, do you simply rely on the client to give you the analytics? So here's my process. If I'm writing for a client, it's basically around this, is I have one meeting with them a month and it's about 60 to 90 minutes. And I ask them questions, stories, things that happen, goods, bads, worsts, best, things like that, getting to know them, launches, what things should I know? So I'm asking them a lot of questions. I usually record it on my phone and then I export the recording to ChatGPT to give me the transcript. And I say, give me the transcript and then summarize the transcript. And so it gives me all that. And then from there, I write a bunch of emails, right? And so whether it's 3 emails a week or 1 email a week or whatever the client's paying for. And so I'll write a bunch of emails in a Google Doc about a couple weeks ahead of time, a couple weeks before they need to go out. And then I will send that Google Doc to the client and give them about 3 days to review it, revise it, and send it to me. I give them a deadline, otherwise they teeter-totter around. And so from there, they can leave Google comments, whatever it is. Oh, hey, we actually sold 10, not 200 or whatever, I don't know, whatever it is. They can leave comments. I edit those things and then I personally schedule it for them. So I have access to their ConvertKit, to their Klaviyo, to whatever. And I schedule everything for them. I have access to their analytics. I export the analytics and I actually set up an automation to where their analytics actually sends me a report in my email once a week that says, here's how many emails went out, open rates, click-through rates, sales, all that stuff. And then I have it generate a week against last week or month to date or anything like that to show how we've grown sales. And I send that to the client. I honestly automate a lot of the crap I don't want to do. And I really focus on the writing and the relationship with the client. So it's not crazy deep, but it is helpful to them. Melvio asks, what's the best way to make your email subject lines irresistible? Well, I have a different video on this, which is the 5 C's of irresistible subject lines. So I'm glad that you asked that. But if I were to lean into one, I were to give you one right now, it's curiosity. If you can make your email subject lines curious, curiosity is the most powerful drug in human psychology. People will shake their hands to click that thing if you can make them curious enough. Like, here's an email subject line I used one time that I just took through the roof. I did for a farm that I was writing. I wrote, the one food that replaces 8 supplements. They're like, what is this? I mean, that market drooled over that one. So yeah, curiosity. Nick Hayes asks, how did you start copywriting, or how did you start making money through it? Just outreach to random people? So my copywriting journey is very backwards from everybody else, okay? When I started copywriting, I didn't even know it was called copywriting. If I'm being honest, I was just writing stuff, and I started my own email list, and I started writing on Twitter, and I funneled those people from Twitter to an email list, and I was just teaching them everything I knew about email marketing and marketing, because I have a big background in marketing, mainly social media marketing, advertising, Facebook ads, all those sorts of things. And I did email marketing alongside those things, but I never called it copywriting. I called it email marketing. And we'd write emails and we'd sell stuff, right? You create social posts and you sell stuff, right? And so when I got into the space, I just did what I knew best, which was post on social media, move them to an email campaign, and write to them via email. And over time, I just got so in love with the writing process that I just focused solely on the writing, less on the content, less on social media. And I just really wanted to write. And then I found the world of copywriting, where I was like, oh my gosh, there's a whole world of people like doing this. And it's like a thing. And it's just so funny, because when I was sending emails, not even knowing it was copy, I was still selling stuff. So monetizing, you could sell your copywriting services to people. It's not what I did. I went the other way. I just wrote for myself and sold my own stuff, like my book. I have a book, I sold that. I made a little course, I sold that. I had some affiliate links for people who were selling their courses and their writing products and their books. I sold that via my email list. I did it all for me and not for a client. And oddly enough, I had a bunch of people who became clients or friends or whatever, asked me to write for them. So, I did it backwards. I can't say it's the right way. Most people go after clients, but that's how my journey was. Christoph Nemeth asked, this has been on my mind for a while. What's your opinion on non-native people trying to become a copywriter, learning copywriting? Can these people become good enough copywriters? I would like to think so, but I don't see a lot of them who do. So I have a very, what I would say, controversial, not fun opinion on this. And I do believe that if you are a non-native speaker, i.e. you don't speak English as your native and primary language, I do think you're going to struggle as an English copywriter, i.e. writing into the English market to sell stuff to United States and Americans, just because there's just such a large gap there between the writing, the grammar, the language, the culture, the understanding. It's so hard. It's already hard for native speaking people. I mean, I know people who are born here, including myself, who, we're busting our freaking butts to get, and copywriting is really hard. So I think if you're non-native and you're trying to write in your non-native language, I think it's going to be hard, dang near impossible. I really do. I hate saying that, but I barely see native speaking English people make it. So it's definitely hard the other way. Now, I do think you could write in your native language and write copy in your native language and obviously kick the butt out of everybody, which you should do. But non-natively, that's a struggle. James Nicholson asks, growing your newsletter. Here's a big one I'm trying to work out at the moment. What was the two? Is that how you wrote that? What was the two when you started writing the newsletter and the amount of readers you had? i.e., did you just start writing to nobody and then sending it out when people started subscribing, or did you wait until you had a certain number of subscribers before you pulled the trigger? I hope this makes sense. Yeah. Basically, do you start sooner or later? Do you send to 10 people? Do you wait till you have 100 people? Whatever it is, I would start today, okay? What I did was I started and I wrote to like 40 people for like 6 months. Yeah, I texted, it was basically a friends and family newsletter. I texted some friends and some family. I said, hey, I'm writing about, oh gosh, I don't even remember what I started it with. I'm writing about this thing. I think you would enjoy it. I send it out once a week. I don't do that. I send a daily email out now. But I write about this thing and I send it out once a week. Would you want to be on it? Here's the link. And I had 40, 50 people subscribe. And that's all I had for the longest time. And then over time, I found really the thing I wanted to write about, email copywriting, and my niche, and really centered into that. And then I started connecting online and moving people to my email list, and I kept emailing them. So I would say, yeah, start, man, because it's more about the craft of writing than like, I'm gonna blow up some big newsletter. Bro, just freaking write. Write your stuff. You're gonna get better. You need to get better. Okay, don't sit here and wait till somebody gives you permission. You take permission and then you go crush the game. You get them on your newsletter and you freaking write. I'm sorry I got fired up right there. I just really want you to write content. All right, that wraps us up for today. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe so I can continue to give you content like this. And again, if you haven't already grabbed it, grab Copywriting Catalyst. It's in the description below. It's absolutely free. 63 cash cow copywriting tips for you to enjoy and start making money immediately. I appreciate you being here. I will catch you on the next one. That was a good one. I enjoyed those questions. Man, what other questions is there any, should we do a bonus question while you guys are here? This guy asked, how do you make the perfect bowl of spaghetti? I'm not gonna answer that because I don't know how to do it, okay? What else? What else is here that I didn't answer?